Hi, I'm Simon Shetty, your host and the founder of Smart Green Card, and welcome back to this channel. If you caught our last video, we talked about a great strategy for married couples pursuing the EB1A, where one spouse takes the lead and the other spouse plays a supporting role. And if you haven't seen it yet, make sure that you check it out on our channel. Trust me, you don't want to miss it because this is kind of like a continuation of that. But today, we dive into a rare scenario. When does it probably make sense for both couples to pursue their EB1A applications separately? And this is going to be an important one, especially if you and your spouse are potentially both looking at options for your green card. But before we do that, a quick disclaimer, as always, I am not an immigration attorney and this is not legal advice. So everything that I'm about to share in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. So if you need any specific legal advice tailored to your specific situation, you should always consult a licensed US immigration attorney. All right, now that we have that taken care of, let's talk about the scenario that isn't often discussed, but it is crucial for certain couples to consider. So let me tell you about Manish and Anjali, a couple that we recently worked with. They were in a situation where the traditional approach of one spouse leading and the other one supporting wasn't really the best solution for them, and here's why. Both Manish and Anjali were in the 6th years of their H1Bs, both of them, which basically meant that their H1B status was about to expire soon. Again, both of them. Neither of them had an approved I-140 so far, and to make matters worse, their company had just gone through a layoff and had frozen all new green card applications. If you don't know it yet, whenever a company goes through a mass layoff, they are required to freeze all their green card applications for at least 6 months out there. So they were in a position where they were getting ready to leave the US and return to India due to their expiring H1B visas. Now, here's the catch though. Because EB1A is not current for India right now, even if one of them got their EB1A I-140s approved, they wouldn't be able to file for the I-485 or the adjustment of status because the priority date isn't current for India right now. So the other spouse's H1B would kind of expire anyway. This put them in a situation where they needed to ensure that both of them had an I-140 approval to continue with their H1B renewals while they waited for a priority date to become current. The solution though, it kind of made sense for both of them to pursue separate I-140s, one going for the EB1A and the other one going a little bit easier on the EB2 NIW or the national interest waiver, as their profiles were kind of suited for these different paths when an attorney reviewed the profile and let them know. So what's the smart strategy here? At Smart Green Card, we are always focused on the best strategy for the particular profile. Now, after a thorough discussion with our team, their attorney, and even Manish and Anjali themselves, we all agreed that they should both pursue their own separate paths. So Manish decided to pursue the EB1A route because his profile was kind of like better suited for that category, and Anjali, on the other hand, had a profile that would fit more with the EB2 NIW category, which was ideal for professionals in fields that benefit the US's national interest. Plus, relatively compared to the EB1A, it had kind of like lower bar, so it made it a little bit easier for at least one spouse to pursue a category with a lower bar relatively. We worked with both of them closely to build the strong cases for both the applicants, and guess what? Both Manish and Anjali got their I-140s approved. Anjali got it first, and then subsequently after a couple of months, Manish got it as well. This was an amazing feat for our entire team because this is not just about getting someone approved, or it's not just about serving someone as a customer. This is about helping them continue renewing their H1Bs, which is basically helping them avoid a career gap and continue building their profiles or building their careers in the US in a way that they have already worked super hard since the past several years. So just an H1B expiring wouldn't come in their way and destroy their careers, or at least introduce such big of a career gap in what they do. And while they wait for their priority date to become current for their I-485 filings, they can continue renewing their H1B to make sure that they have continuity of employment in the US as well. So here's the bottom line. By filing separately and by pursuing different green card paths, they were able to secure their future in the US, even though the EB1A wasn't technically available for their country at that particular point in time. Now, here's the key takeaway though. It is important to always consult an attorney about your specific circumstance before deciding whether you and your spouse should file separately or together. And in rare cases like Manish and Anjali's, the filing separately part can make all the difference really. But every case is obviously unique. You should always get a detailed evaluation and consult a licensed US immigration attorney who can guide you with the best approach based on your individual circumstances. So if both spouses are in a time crunch, like possibly about to lose their H-1B status because it's expiring, then filing separately may be the best option to ensure that both can continue working legally in the United States. When neither spouse has an I-140 approved, pursuing two different green card paths, like maybe an EB1A and an NIW, can potentially give both spouses an opportunity to get their green cards faster once their priority dates become current. So always consult an attorney. Every couple's situation is different based on what your priority date is, what your fields are, what your tenure in your workplace is, and legal advice is always given by them tailored to your circumstances, and that is very crucial that you do that. So if you haven't seen our previous video about the traditional strategy for married couples pursuing the EB1A, be sure to check that out, because in that video we discussed how one spouse can take the lead and the other one can play a more of a supporting role. But remember, there are always exceptions, like Manish and Anjali's case, where both spouses should file separately. So be sure to watch that video and learn more about the different strategies available to couples potentially aiming for the EB1A. And if you and your spouse are considering the EB1A or other green card options, our VIP plan is designed to help you build the strongest possible profile, evolving until something that qualifies for those. So whether you are leading or supporting or even pursuing separate paths, email or WhatsApp our team. The details are in the description below to book a session with us today, and let's get you on that fast track to success. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever it is, this video. So share it with everyone that you possibly can who might find it helpful, and I will see you in the next one.